Hey guys, how are you all doing? Welcome to my channel. So, today we are gonna see, what if Naruto x Kaguya x Tsunade x Sarada, part 2, subscribe if you enjoy the video, let's start the story. Hanayama turns his attention to Naruto, as he wipes his hand on a cloth. You helped me, Hanayama says, and Naruto nods, thank you. You have my respect for Naruto Uzumaki, he adds. You know what Naruto says. Not much goes on here. I don't know what Hanayama says, and beckons for the Riti to follow him. Naruto looks Hanayama, and he is easily 6'3" with a muscular body under his white suit and scars on his face, so who was that guy, Naruto asks. He sought to move my family, but used weak tactics, Hanayama says, as they reached a nightclub. Several girls smile and wave as Naruto follows Hanayama inside to an office as nightgoers are having fun. Since you are aspiring to become a shinobi, I can offer you this as a token of thanks, Hanayama says, grabbing a medium-sized scroll with a green cord wrap. Are you sure, Naruto says. Hanayama places the scroll into Naruto's hand with his eyes hidden by the glint of his glasses. Call it an investment, Hanayama says. Naruto clutches the scroll and bows at the waist. Thank you, sir, he says. When you graduate, come here and I'll have one. My girls will make you a man, Hanayama says. Naruto leaves the club and makes his way, but his face turns red as he realizes Hanayama wanted him to sleep with a hooker. It would prepare you for your harem, boy, Musashi says. He makes it home and uses an observer on his new summon scroll as it says it is for the Oni summon clan. Oni, Naruto says. Violent creatures but bring good fortune and some are able to fly, Musashi says, and Naruto's eyes widen. The next day off from the academy, Naruto would show Kakashi his new summon scroll and explain how he got it. The famed copy ninja is shocked and astonished that a person like Hanayama had such a scroll in his possession. Kakashi would take Naruto to Itachi and register it with the village, but also begin to show him how to summon, also showing him how to sign said contract in blood. Alright, Naruto, prick your finger and weave the signs before slamming your hand on the ground or clapping your hands together, Kakashi says. It has been about a month since Naruto signed the contract. Let's see what Oni Tsunade says, as Sarada and Kaguya were watching as well. Naruto bites his thumb and weaves the signs of a boar, dog, bird, monkey, and ram. Kuchiyus no Jutsu, Naruto declares, clapping his hands, and a large puff of smoke erupts before he narrowly dodges a blade. The smoke dies down to reveal a humanoid man with long crimson hair tied in a ponytail, amber brown eyes, and a set of dual-colored horns. He wears a long white shirt, brown pants held up by a belt adorned with large magatama beads, as well as long white socks and sandals. Where am I? The Oni says and sees Naruto, but his eyes widen at the Riti's power. I summoned you. My name is Naruto Uzumaki, Naruto says. I see I am Yoro, and I apologize for drawing my blade on you, the Oni says, sheathing his nagamaki that is tall as him. Are you the boss? Sarada says and looks her way. Oh, I am Sarada Uchiha. They are Tsunade Senju, Kaguya Hyuga, and Kakashi Haddock, she adds. No, that would be Benimaru. So what does it entail for Naruto to be accepted as your summoner? Kakashi says. I will summon our elder and he will be judged, and slams his sword down and another puff of smoke erupts. It dies down to reveal an older looking Oni having silver hair, two white ivory-like horns, a long silver goatee, and sharp eyes. He wears a white overcoat covered on the shoulders and neck by a pale brown and matching scarf. What do we have here? Hiro the elder says, stroking his beard. His name is Naruto and he summoned me, Elder Haku says. Haku looks over Naruto as a third opens over his forehead. I see you are very interesting, young Naruto, and I believe you can bring our forgotten clan back to prominence. So I accept you as our summoner. Now remove your shirt and turn around, he says. Naruto does as he is told and shows his back before the old Oni places his hands on the Riti's back. He yelps in pain as the tattoo of a red Oni and blue Oni fighting appears, and on that day the first summoner of the Oni clan in decades is born. 2 years later, 16-year-old Naruto sits on the bank of the river that runs through the village, his thoughts on being on the cusp of reaching LVL 100, and with it SSJ. The last 2 years have been grinding dailies and beating dungeons to reach his point, but also endless training. He sits unchallenged at the academy, but Kiba seems to refuse to believe it. Upon graduation he would apprentice to Kakashi and work as a solo team due to his Kage Bunshin. The hidden boss should put you over 100, Musashi says. Yeah, Naruto says. You graduate in 2 days, right? A voice says, and Naruto looks back to see Hanayama. The pair have become decent friends over the past 2 years and a great sparring partner, yeah, Naruto says. Hanayama chugs from a bottle of bourbon with his eyes on the Riti. Still wants my offer from our first meeting, Hanayama says. No, those 3 would skin me alive, Naruto says. Those 3 are fiercely protective of you, Hanayama says. Naruto gets to his feet and he now stands about 5'8", with his body being muscular, flexible, and durable, having a few scars, but his back unblemished. He moves up the bank to bump fist with Hanayama and makes his way home, as one goal is on his mind. He reaches home and makes a shadow clone to watch things, but works on a project. Finish working on Avenue Seal Breaker once graduation happens. Kakashi may let me do it, Naruto says, and the clone nods. Tech point. Do you wish to challenge Hidden Boss? Yes, no. Hidden Boss challenge. Defeat Unchained, user transported to Unchained's domain with restrictions in place. Kai Blasts locked, Chakra Chain locked, Flight locked, Kaioken locked, and Uzumaki Ryu style Kenjutsu locked. Rewards 1, 2,500,000 EXP. Do, unlock special area, world will change. Music. The under Fight loop. Naruto is transported to a very small room of 8 by 8 feet or smaller with his arms above and behind his head, special area. What does that mean, he says, moving his arms, and finds his thumbs are locked. Suddenly the metal door to his right groans and tears as the metal twists at the handle before being ripped open by a man. Greetings player, the man says, walking in after tossing the door aside. He is a dark-skinned man standing about 6'3" and packed with muscle in a black 3-piece suit. How strong do you have to be to twist metal like that? Naruto thought and used to observe, but his eyes widened. His STR is at 1000. He thought. He must be Unchained, Musashi says. Unchained looks over Naruto and touches his body in places, so when you wish to fight I can provide a stage for us to fight, Unchained says, smiling. No need for that. We don't need to wait, Naruto says. You want to fight right here? Unchained says. Naruto wastes no time with a rising knee into a kick to the throat as he lands, sending Unchained into the wall and spilling blood, but the large man slams a palm into the redeed. Naruto crashes through the wall as Unchained flexes out of his suit and leaves it standing, leaving him wearing a tiger speedo. Then let's begin, player, Unchained says. Naruto breaks his cuffs and punches Unchained's gut, but he grabs Naruto's arm and pulls him back through the wall, grabbing his ankle and starts flinging the redeed like one would put a sheet on a clothesline. Naruto couldn't make heads or tails of things before Unchained lets him fly up, only for him to spear them through several walls. Unchained picks Naruto up and tosses him into the steel door with a thud into a weighted punch with enough force to rip it off its hinges, sending Naruto off some railing and falling about 20 feet. Seems we're in a prison, Musashi says, as Unchained lands near him. Naruto tries to move, but Unchained grabs his ankle and flings him like a wet towel with enough force to crack the concrete floor a foot deep. Is that all, player, Unchained says. Naruto slowly starts to move and rises to his feet with this air about him before removing his shirt to reveal the dueling Oni on his back. Thanks for the whack you call, he says, and Unchained chuckles, raising his arms. Naruto readies to attack, but Unchained shocks him by manipulating his muscles and becomes an almost complete sphere. What? Naruto says and sends a heavy punch into Unchained, but it has no effect. His muscles are very defined and may dampen your attacks, Musashi says. Naruto clenches his left arm as his veins become pronounced into a heavy step-in, but Unchained grabs his hand and opens like the jaws of a giant predator. He pulls Naruto in like he is eating the redeed before spitting him like a piece of gum. Unchained looms over Naruto and raises his foot to bring it down, but the redeed snaps awake to roll away from each. Naruto rises, but Unchained slips back into his ball, and this time the redeed is ready by letting himself be caught and drives fingers in his nose. Unchained cries out in pain and sends Naruto crashing back with a backfist, but he recovers, shooting forward as both connect with heavy blows. Keep pushing, boy, Musashi says. Naruto and Unchained keep punching with blood flying, but the latter is being pushed back until Unchained's back hits the wall. Hyakuretsu Ken, Naruto roars, with 100 fists slamming into Unchained until he falls on his butt. Hidden boss defeated. Rewards 1, 2,500,000 EXP. Do, unlock special area. Level up. Quest received. Awakened at last. Defeat. Rewards 1, SSJ unlocked. Music. Ninatsu no Taizai Asta Tensei Ommandments loop. Naruto now finds himself back in, but the village is smoldering from unprecedented destruction. What the hell happened? Is this what was meant by special area? He says, running through the streets and finding scores of dead, but two he immediately recognizes. Kakashi. Anu. Naruto shouts, rushing to the downed bodies. Kakashi is shielding Anko with a sword through his back and her chest as Naruto falls to his knees. Who could have done this? Naruto says. I do not know what, boy, Musashi says. Naruto slowly closes their eyes and springs to his feet as tears fill his eyes, but he has to find someone alive. He continues to search and finds the likes of Shikamaru, Ino, Hanayama, Taunton, and even Itachi. Naruto's voice calls, and Naruto sees on the ground with a hole in her stomach. Sarada, Naruto says, reaching her. Sarada weakly reaches her hand up to his face. As he kneels, he comes in the blackness, she says. Naruto says. He was too strong. No one was safe. He took Kaguya and Tsunade to the town square, Sarada says, her hand falling and face unmoving. Naruto clenches his fist to the point of bleeding and punches the ground next to them. As it fractures, I'll make him pay, he hisses. He rises to his feet and rushes to the center of the village and violently murder the person responsible for killing his precious people. Naruto reaches the center of, and his eyes widen in horror as a figure shrouded in shadows is holding Kaguya and by the throat. Naruto both choke out. How good of you to finally join us, Ninjin, the figure says. Let them go, Naruto shouts, but the figure only laughs. Why should I, and if you wish to know my name call me Rose, the figure says. Why have you done this? Naruto says, his anger boiling. I simply did it on a whim is something I wanted to say. However, it was you who pushed me to this beta male, Rose says, and Naruto's eyes narrow, but his eyes widen in horror as Rose atomizes both. Naruto's body trembles as he falls to his knees and Rose is revealed to be, but his brown hair is pastel pink color with faint white highlights. I now see why you were always so strong. Now I have the same power as you, meaning I am the true alpha male of our species and every female is mine. Shouts. Naruto doesn't hear Kiba's ranting, but replays the deaths of everyone, and this rage fills his body as he grips the dirt. Kiba says as the wind picks up. The source being Naruto, as dark clouds move across the skies of, and the ground cracks around the redeed, his body trembling in rage, as veins bulge on his arms, and his red hair spikes up, giving it a rising flame-like appearance. Naruto rears up with an echoing roar of rage as his body explodes with golden energy and it dies down to reveal Naruto now on his feet, his red hair now a golden blonde along with his eyebrows. His azure blue eyes are now a pupil less greenish blue, his muscle tone more defined, and his skin tone now lighter with a pulsing flame-like aura. Kiba, you will pay. Naruto roars, his aura explodes and rushes towards. He flares his dark pastel pink aura, but Naruto slams a punch into his gut and his eyes wide out, sending him crashing through several buildings. Kiba recovers, but it is too late as a large yellow blast atomizes him like he did Kaguya, and Naruto hovers above the crater with a blank face as a prompt appears. Song ends. Quest complete. Rewards. 1. SSJ unlocked. Naruto wakes on his bed with a start. Was that all real, he thought, rubbing his face and sitting up. I don't believe so. Perhaps a means to awaken the SSJ state, Musashi says. Naruto goes into the bathroom and does his business, seems so real though, he says, getting dressed in his academy uniform. He makes himself some breakfast of a dozen eggs, adding cheese, bacon, and slices of toast bread before starting on his dailies, which have doubled, and he can use shadow clones. Now to see it in action, Naruto says, making some clones and erasing his presence to enter a training ground to make one more clone. Okay, transform, Naruto says. The clone focuses and his muscles become more defined as his hair raises, flashing between red and golden blonde as his golden aura explodes. Naruto stares with wide eyes at the sight of his SSJ self, so that's what it looks like from the outside in what he says. How can we swing this for training, the clone says. I'll have to send some reinforced clones outside the village, Naruto says, dispelling his clone. He makes his way to the academy and sees the others arriving, but his face scrunches at the sight of Kiba and keeps calm. It wasn't him, he thought. Naruto, Kaguya says, and Naruto turns with a smile. She has grown more beautiful in the past 2 years, her snow white in a high ponytail and a bust to match a certain blonde. Pay you 2 days, her blonde hair short in a bun and clocking in at 106 centimeters. Hey says, annoyed at her stacked friends. So today is the day, Naruto says, pushing the quest's events to the back of his mind. Indeed, the three said. They head inside, as several were looking in jealousy towards the trio and rage towards Naruto, but knew better to mess with him. Everyone is milling about and talking as he calls for them to sit down for the written test being the first part. Naruto goes through his test but decides to check his stats as he does, strongest in the village, Musashi says. Name? Naruto Uzumaki. Title? Heir of Uzumaki clan. Level 100. 232,500 780,000. Stats. HP. 135,000. CP. 135,500. CC. 85%. STR. 560. SPD. 550. STA. 710. X. 540. DIT. 860. CHK. 1580. Wisconsin. 230. Stat points. 5. Maybe, but I should keep going and think of Unchained strength. He soon finishes his test and places his head down until the others finish their tests, adding his points into STR to bring him to 565. Teachers collect their tests and lead them outside for their accuracy test on stationary, but also static targets. Clan children make various scores between 17 to 20, with getting a perfect score compared to Kaguya and Naruto gets a perfect score, as well as Kiba's ire, and civilians get close to 15 or below with Sakura getting that. Looks like I am ahead, Sarada says. One says, and Kaguya nods. Naruto ignores them to talk with Shikamaru and about a few things, but mainly food, the Redeed bringing up cheeseburgers, and this causes to want to try it. Naruto told his rotund friend that he could invite him and Shikamaru for burgers. Come to my place at 6, Naruto says, and both nod. Us too, I'll invite Ino as well, as Sarada says, and Naruto nods, so at a graduation party she adds, again another nod. The final part of the test is dispelling A, demonstrating their skills for their chosen skill set. Each prospective genin heads to the testing area when their name is called and returns with or without 8. Kiba comes back with a smug look on his face, but it doesn't matter to Naruto, as he has Shinobi Rookie of the Year locked. Each of the trio pass in their own way, and each hoping to be Kunoichi of the Year, winning the title of head wife for Naruto. Naruto Uzumaki, a teacher, calls out. Naruto heads to the area and immediately dispels the good. Now demonstrate your ninjutsu, taijutsu, kinjutsu, bujutsu, and fuinjutsu, another teacher says. Naruto faces a teacher in a taijutsu spar, and his skills are fluid with no wasted movements, adding some bujutsu into it as well. The teacher says ninjutsu. Naruto starts by weaving signs to bird into clapping his hands and uses the gale palm, then more signs to tiger, and sets a magically appearing card on fire, lastly signs to dog for several shuriken. 3 affinities with such an ease of transition says. Naruto raises his sleeve and applies chakra to a seal on his wrist, and a Bakken appears, fuinjutsu, and lastly kinjutsu he says. One of the Anbu with a Nico mask appears. I will be your partner, she says. Thank you Nico, Naruto. Haruka and the other teacher watch the elegant dance of swords by Naruto and Nico, while she holds the advantage. Naruto keeps up. Enough Naruto, you've passed, says. Naruto and Nico bow to one another before she vanishes, and he takes his 8, now then time to collect the rest of my harem and work my way to SSJ4, he thought. Naruto stares at himself in a full-length mirror at his mission attire for the foreseeable future, buying said items from the store and adding some touches. First is a pair of cargo pants that taper into a Skinner look near the end and look like stonewashed jeans, a black belt, and work boots having orange laces, also having seals to reduce their sound. A long-sleeve white shirt having no collar and black flames on the sleeves, but also chain suspender designs on it too. A pair of white gloves having black fingers, and lastly a sleeveless but hooded jacket having chain designs in the form the Uzumaki swirl. Not bad, Boya Musashi says. Thanks, Naruto says, making some breakfast of a dozen blueberry biscuits with PB&J and half-gallon of milk. He makes some clones to do his dailies and heads for the academy for team placements, with his thoughts on how to pass SSJ off as some Uzumaki clan secret. Perhaps the use of my chakra. There is also that silver tongue skill you bought on a whim, Musashi says. That could work, Naruto thought, soon reaching the academy and seeing Sarada waiting at the gates. She's wearing a dark blue sleeveless kipau shirt with her clan's fan crest on the back, a pair of lilac shorts, dark blue thigh-length stockings, black shinobi boots, and long dark blue arm warmers, her 8 on her forehead. Hey, Naruto says, and Naruto waves as they head inside. Hinata and Tsunade were already inside with other genin milling about discussing teams or ideal teams for themselves. Hey says. She's wearing a dark green-black sports bra and black pants that reach down to her shins having white trimmings and matching socks with brown calf-high combat boots. Forearm-length gloves and a black denim jacket with 2 long sagging straps along the sides. Hello Kaguya. She wears a form-fitting light lavender sleeveless kimono-style blouse with vertical lines, tied with a dark purple obi around her waist, short dark navy shorts, thigh-high stockings, and calf-length boots. They take their seats and wait to announce teams, but Shinobi and Kunoichi of the Year, now we'll see all 3. After about 15 minutes arrives with a clipboard and gives a generic speech about it was an honor to teach them before starting on teams. Team 5 commanded by Anko Haddock will be our Kunoichi of the Year, he starts, and 3 lean forward. Tsunade Senju Sarada Uchiha and Kaguya Hyuga Iruka says and pumps her fist as he announces Team 6 and both glare at the blonde but accept things for now. Team 7 will be a solo team with our Rookie of the Year Naruto Uzumaki and commanded by Kakashi Haddock says and gets a few shots of disbelief, but he counters with the choosing the teams. Team 8 under the command of Kurana Yuhi will have Shino Aburam Sakura Haruno and Kiba Inyazuka. Team 9 is active, and last Team 10 under the command of Asuma Sarutobi is Shikamaru Nara Ino Yamanaka and Choji Akimichi. He finishes, giving another speech, and excuses himself. Why do you get a solo team? Uzumaki says, approaching the 4, and Naruto stares at them. I can do things a team can by myself, Naruto says, and create a dozen clones. I can be my team by myself, he adds, before a window shatters, and, as a Tumblr enters. How's it going wannabes? I am the ultra sexy MILF in training Anko Haddock, and I am here for my Vic. I mean Genin, Anko says, as Sarada, Kaguya, and Tsunade rise from their seats. Also Chibi Kashi is waiting with the Hokage, so head on up ads. Naruto sighs as the trio wave and follow out the window before leaving as glares heading towards the tower which is adjacent to the academy. Rank Genin achieved. E rank missions 5000 EXP, 5000 Ryo minimum. C rank mission 10,000 EXP, 10,000 Ryo minimum. B rank mission 15,000 EXP, 15,000 Ryo minimum. A rank mission 20,000 EXP, 20,000 Ryo minimum. S rank mission 50,000 EXP, 50,000 Ryo minimum. Well, missions will give me EXP and money, meaning I can cut back on dungeons, though I need to figure out what the special area is, Naruto thought, heading up the tower. He reaches the Hokage's office and sees Kakashi waiting with his orange book in his hand. On time, Kakashi says. Unlike your Naruto muses, and Kakashi smiles. He knocks and enters the office where Itachi is sitting at his desk with the commander Shikaku Nara standing to his right. Thank you for coming, Naruto, Itachi says, and adopts a serious look. Now, as the heir of the Uzumaki clan, certain things will be expected of you. The first is the cry to begin the rebuilding of your clan, with 6 women of your choice, he explains. Already chosen, Musashi says, and Naruto internally snorts. As a solo team, and your use of the Kage Bunshin allows you to be your team, you will also be able to float between other teams and accompany them on higher rank missions, Itachi says, and Naruto slowly nods. Last concerns the Chunin exams, he adds, and Shikaku clears his throat. This year the Chunin exams will take place in the land of Mizue country amidst a civil war between Kurigakure's loyalists and bloodline revolutionaries, Shikaku says. Bloodline revolutionaries, Naruto says. Several years ago the Kaguya clan attacked Kurigakure. This ignited fears in Kiri's hierarchy, which believed Kekkei Genkai users were demonic and needed to be purged, Shikaku explains. The leader of the revolutionaries, Mei Terumi, reached out to me for aid, and we have maintained correspondences for the past year and a half. She has managed to convince the Mizu daimyo that Kiri's actions were deplorable and are systematically destroying the country, Itachi says. Why are you telling me what Lord Godame, Naruto says. You are the village's Jinchuriki, and that has certain obligations. The Mizukage will likely enter his nephew Kagura Karatachi and Sanbi Jinchuriki into the exams. You will have to deal with him also. From what we know, Iwa and Kumo will not be involved in the exams, but they will be keeping their eyes on it, Shikaku explains. So I'll need to deal with a fellow Jinchuriki, Naruto says. Yes, our ally Suna will enter their Jinchuriki, but be prepared to face him in the exams. As well, Kakashi will be training you in various skills until the exams, even the use of the Kyuubi's chakra, Itachi says, and Naruto nods. They dismiss the pair and they head down the tower. So what are we doing first? Sensei, Naruto asks. Teams will have Genin tests today, so we have a day before things truly begin. Though we can do tier ranks if you want, Kakashi says. I can wait until, Naruto says, and Kakashi nods. Well, I'll see you at training ground 7 at 7 am, Kakashi says, about to shunshin away. Hey sensei, Lady Tobium has said I have reached journeyman in Fuinjutsu and I may be able to break Anua's curse, Naruto says, and Kakashi freezes. Naruto, Kakashi says, and the redeed looks his sensei in the eye. I believe I can. I've been working on a few seals and I think I can break her curse, Naruto says. Think or no, Kakashi says, as they leave the tower. Think at this point, but I know I can help with your eye, Naruto says. Kakashi touches his 8 with a sigh. We'll speak to Lord Jiraiya about it, but I'll be your guinea pig, he says. Cool, we can head to Lady Tobium, Naruto says, and his sensei nods as they head for the compound. You know, the Kakashi Naruto has come a very long way in Fuinjutsu, Tobium says. The three were sitting outside amongst nature as the blonde looked the silver-haired shinobi in the eye. I can trust him. He brought up Anko too, but I'd prefer your husband to be present, Kakashi says, and she sighs. Jiraiya is off doing research for his book and his network, so it's no telling when he'll be back, says, and looks to Naruto. Break out your kit and we'll work on Kakashi, she adds. Naruto raises his right sleeve and retrieves a wooden box from a seal on his forearm. This seal is fairly simple. Your Sharingan places a constant strain on your chakra reserves. This seal will create a stopgap between your eye and chakra network, allowing you essentially turn it off, and although your eye won't return to normal, he explains. Something that sensei of yours should have done, or his buffin of a sensei adds. Naruto removes his right glove and dips his pen into the ink to inscribe a kanji on his hand. Show me your Sharingan, sensei, he says, and Kakashi raises his 8 to show his haunting red eye. Blue chakra starts to coat Naruto's fingers as he places his hand over Kakashi's eye before the copy ninja feels that his chakra strain is diminishing. How do you feel? Naruto asks. I'm feeling better. How will I be able to use it properly? Kakashi says. Form a half-ram sign and channels chakra to it, Tobium says. Well, we'll test it tomorrow, Kakashi says and rises to his feet. See you, he says, vanishing with Leaf Shunshin. So who won, says. Tsunade, Naruto says and smirks. The Hokage even told me about the cry, though it won't cause issues for the clans. It won't. You may eventually marry Tsunade, Kaguya and Sarada. They will have children. My future grandchild will be heiress of either clan, same with the Uchiha and Hyuga, but the Uchiha have the Hokage who can have children and Kaguya's little sisters can become heiress, explains, while Naruto picks up his kit. I'll contact Jiraiya through my summons to expedite things, said. Thank you, sensei, Naruto says and excuses himself. The next day Naruto makes some clones for his dailies, but decides to do the sit-ups, push-ups, pull-ups, and crunches himself waiting for Kakashi to arrive. About 20 after 7 his sensei arrives, a little late, sensei, Naruto says, holding a handstand push-up. I'll move things to 8 for tomorrow. Now seeing you warmed up, let's have a spar, Kakashi says. Naruto pushes himself back to a vertical base with a smirk and slips into a loose stance as Kakashi raises his 8 before using a half-ram sign and beckons for his pupil. Naruto stares his sensei down and slowly edges forward into a 6-piece combo that Kakashi blocks, pushing a right through, but Naruto bends back to avoid it. Naruto edges back about 2 feet and starts to bounce on the tips of his toes as Kakashi's Sharingan spins to predict his next move. The Redeed shoots forward with 3 lightning-fast strikes moving downward as Kakashi moves back but notices gashes in his shirt and pants. He's fast, Kakashi thought. Naruto presses him, but the senior ninja keeps up and catches his fist before blocking kicks with left forearm and snakes that arm around Naruto's leg. Kakashi twists to send Naruto around while keeping his arm around his leg, but the Redeed manages a sloppy kick with his free leg and free himself. Sensei and student reset, but this time Kakashi goes on the offensive with a 10-piece combo that Naruto keeps up with, however one gets through and staggers the Redeed. Naruto quickly recovers and sends a left straight for Kakashi, but shatters a log. Lesson 1 Jinjutsu, Kakashi says, as the world warps him, but Naruto dispels them. Once he has to avoid a fireball from Kakashi by dodging right, but a pair of hands burst from the ground, grabbing his ankles and dragging the Redeed underground to his neck. This won't hold me, Sensei, Naruto says, seeing Kakashi appear before blowing himself free with an energy blast. He leaps out of the newly made hole and dusts the dirt from his body. Figured it wouldn't, but I've seen what I needed, Kakashi says. So a D-rank mission now, Naruto asks. We can be prepared, Kakashi says, and the pair head for the mission hall inside the lower part of the tower. The room is open with a long table having a few seated, namely the Sandame, and a board having some mission slips on it, none of the other teams having yet to arrive. So what mission should we get? Naruto asks. Your choice. Since you'll be doing it, Kakashi says, and Naruto gives him a look. The Redeed looks over the board and various missions as Kakashi reads his little book. I'll do this one, Naruto says, showing a mission to carry several heavy bags for an owner. Okay, Naruto, Kakashi says, grabbing the slip and takes it to the table. Team 7 will take this mission, Kakashi says. Alright, but don't work Naruto too hard, Hiruzen says. I won't tell old man Naruto. The pair head out the mission and take to the roofs heading to the southeastern side of the village. Soon they arrive at a warehouse with a large wagon having about 100 sacks of cement. Hello sir, we're to help with transport, Kakashi says, and the man only sees Naruto. There is only the 2 of you, the man says. That won't be an issue, right, Naruto, Kakashi says. Naruto smirks and removes his coat but also his long sleeve shirt as 2 clones pop to life next to him. No problem, all 3 say. One of the clones hops in the wagon and hands each one a sack as the man guides them inside to show where to drop them off. Kakashi watches Naruto and his clone haul the cement bags as the man comes to stand next to him. He is strong, the man says. He is, Kakashi says, not looking up from his book, but would occasionally. The clone will carry 1 bag, but Naruto himself would have 2 on each shoulder, and carrying the sacks takes less time than with 1 person or even a team. Thanks for your aid, I'll hire you again in about 2 weeks for another shipment, the man says, signing a slip for completion. Sure thing, old man, hire me anytime, Naruto says. Call me Goto kid, the man says. Alright, Naruto will head back and take a few more, Kakashi says, and Naruto nods, following him to the tower. However, they encounter teammate about to take their first D-rank mission. Hello Kakashi, Kurenai says, glancing at Naruto. Betting your first mission, Kakashi says, and sees mean mugging Naruto, who is ignoring the dog boy. Yes, back from your own. Yes, Naruto carried 100 sacks of cement with ease, Kakashi says. What? Kiba says, his eyes wide and disbelief in his voice. Think I can get another mission like that? It's good for strength and stamina, Naruto says. We'll have to see what Kakashi says as they leave teammate with Kiba glaring. I'll show you what beta male says, and Naruto freezes, remembering his SSJ mission. Yeah, beta male arbiter Sakura adds. Naruto grits his teeth as several veins bulge on his arms and neck, but Kakashi pops him with his book, showing him in a spar. Kakashi whispers. Hey Kurenai, how about a little inter-team sparring instead, Kakashi says. Are you sure it would not be fair to Naruto? Kurenai says, and Kakashi pats Naruto's shoulder. He'll be fine. How about Kiba and Naruto trying first? Then we'll see if Shino and Sakura will want to after, Kakashi says. Okay, but don't blame my team for Naruto getting hurt, Kurenai says. The two teams head to teammates' training ground as side eyes Naruto the entire way. Ground rules only to jutsu, and you can go full contact, Kakashi says once they arrive. Naruto limbers up a little with his eyes on. Don't break him too bad, Musashi says. I won't even take me long either, Naruto thought, pulling on his gloves. Akamaru barks a few times, but Kiba scoffs. Don't worry. It won't go like before, Kiba says, and looks at Kakashi. Can I use my beast mimicry? He asks, as Kakashi looks at Naruto, and the retard nods. Alright, you fight until we call it, Kakashi says, and raises his right arm before bringing it down. Kiba immediately uses his beast mimicry to sharpen his nails, but also gives him a more feral look and lunges at Naruto with a low stance. However, danger senses go off as Kiba narrowly dodges a lightning-fast left jab from Naruto, throwing him off and sending him rolling a few times. Kiba quickly recovers with a 9-piece combo of claw-like strikes, but Naruto dodges with either a sway back or sidestep. This immediately frustrates and opens him up for a toss as Naruto catches his wrist. Why do I believe this will be any different from our matches at the academy? Naruto says, bouncing on his toes. That was the academy, now things are real, beta male says. You're right, things are more real, Naruto says, before blitzing forward and connecting with an uppercut to Kiba's chin. He chains it into a left hook to Kiba's cheek as the Inyazuka's hands have gone down and limps before crashing to the ground with his ass in the air. I win, Naruto says. Kiba. Sakura screeches, rushing to his side. Still believe things were unfair to Naruto, Kakashi says. Kurenai rushes to her genin and sees he's knocked out as Akamaru licks his face, her mind immediately going to be conquest, and begins using the mystic palm to see if he is. How could you do that to Kiba? Sakura screeches, marching up to Naruto, but Kakashi gets in her way. Careful genin, he fought Kiba in a full contact spar. There was a risk of one of them getting hurt, and if things got too serious, Kurenai or I would have stepped in, Kakashi says. Would you be yelling if I was hurt by Kiba? No, you would be cheering, Naruto says. Kiba slowly starts to stir as he is greeted by the sky. What happened? He says, and Akamaru barks a few times to explain, causing him to grit his teeth in rage. I need power. I have a loyal bitch at my side, as is my right, but that bastard beta male keeps disrespecting his alpha. Someday I will have real power and crush your neck, beta male thought. 1 month later, Naruto is Yamato, and he will help me both with your control of the Kyuubi's chakra, but your elemental training as well, Kakashi says. It has been a month since graduating, but also the spar with Team 8 avoided interactions with Team 7. Kurenai was angry with him, but she could clearly see the animosity brewing in the Sakura. Hello Naruto, Yamato says, and Naruto gives him a friendly nod. He has short brown hair and black almond-shaped eyes with a Hapuri-style hit I-8, wearing standard attire. So how are we doing this, Naruto asks. Well, I'm going to have you meditate and try to commune with the Kyuubi Yamato here to make sure you don't look under control, Kakashi says, and Naruto arches one of his eyebrows. You'll see what Kakashi says. Naruto sighs and takes a seat on the grass to make a show of him meditating with his hands in his lap. Make a show, boy, you can even reveal my name, Musashi says. Naruto keeps his eyes closed and focuses on his chakra energy to turn SSJ. Slowly the grass under him ripples outward at faster and faster intervals as Yamato kneels to one knee with his left hand out. Mokuton. Fu dog heads, Yamato says, and creates a series of wooden pillars which are engraved with what resembles Fu dog faces and have lit wicks on top of them. He has the Mokuton. Now I see why he is here, Naruto thought. Kakashi watches as Naruto's muscles become a little more defined and his hair slowly lifts like a flame as well before a golden red aura explodes from him and turns his hair golden blonde. Senpai, this doesn't feel like the Kyuubi's chakra. It's like that, but at the same time it isn't, Yamato says, ready to bind Naruto if needed. Naruto slowly opens his eyes to reveal blue-green but pupil-less orbs as Kakashi and Yamato stare. Naruto, Kakashi says. Yeah, Kakashi, Naruto says. How do you feel, Kakashi says, as Naruto gets to his feet. Pretty good, I talked to Musashi that the Kyuubi's name and she's fine with me using her chakra, Naruto says, moving his body as if to test his newfound state. I see, well, this is an odd use of a Biju cloak, perhaps because Sensei used the Death Reaper seal it manifests like this, Kakashi says. Maybe Senpai Yamato says. Okay Naruto, that's enough, Kakashi says, and Naruto relaxes, returning to normal. So what's next, Naruto says. So now we'll try working on a higher rank in each of your elemental affinities. Also one of the jutsu made famous by my sensei, the rasengan, Kakashi says. How do I do it? Naruto asks. First create 300 clones, 100 to work on each element. Yamato can get us some water balloons, Kakashi says, and Naruto furrows his brow, creating said clone. Buy water balloons, Naruto asks, as Kakashi makes his own clones to watch each set. The rasengan has 3 steps. First is rotation, second power, and third combine both. The water balloons are for the first step, which I will show you when Yamato returns, Kakashi explains. About a half hour later Yamato comes back with a pack of balloons, and they start filling a few in the small lake near them. Now you have to rotate the water inside until Kakashi says, rotating the water inside said balloon, and popping it. Naruto grabs one and sits on the grass as he moves the water inside. Thanks to your perk learning this is easier, Musashi says. Yeah, so I'll take things slow for now, Naruto thought, but would do it the next day. He would move next to a rubber ball and cleat that in 3 days. Before another 3 days he created a rasengan. So this is the famed jutsu of Lord Yondaime, Sarada says. Naruto holds the swirling orb of chakra in his left hand, yeah, and Kakashi says it's unfinished. He says I can add one of my affinities to it, he says, and lets it dispels, then shows them his SSJ transformation. All 3 girls were shocked by the transformation as Kaguya activates her Byakugan. He's radiating so much chakra, Kaguya says, awe in her voice. I'll say, as Naruto relaxes. Which affinity will you use? I may do wind and fire combined. I can make a pseudo inferno, Naruto says. As Kakashi sensei taken you on a C rank mission yet says, but Naruto shakes his head and all 3 get a cheeky smile on their faces as appears. Hey princesses, ready for your first C rank mission? Oh I be sorry, I have to steal your harem, says, a smirk on her face. I Naruto each day after a small kiss on his cheek. Chibi says as they bid him goodbye. Music. Pickens theme DBZ. Naruto sighs and creates 4 clones with reinforced 5th clones as well. You know what to do, he says as the 4 spread out. Ninpo. Shishi engine, the 4 shout after weaving signs to surround Naruto and his clone with a barrier. Naruto and his clone go SSJ as both lock eyes before Naruto rockets forward, but Naru clone sidesteps him into a heavy punch as Naruto uses the momentum of it to connect with a spinning kick. Naruto and Naru clone engage in a flurry of punches that neither block as they blitz around the barrier and even take to the sky. They connect with heavy punches to the face and float back, but both land, rushing each other again with a dual 100 crack fist. Naru clone swings a right, but only connects with an afterimage of Naruto as he swings a roundhouse as the clone does the same. Naruto lands with a skid and Naru clone slams into him to push him back, but Naruto falls back, kicking his clone up and flies skyward. Final shine, Naruto shouts, firing the green blast. Naru clone dodges the blast and it explodes into the barrier as Naruto appears behind him with a punch to his back, but the clone counters with a right to Naruto's face and follow up downward hammer blow, sending the Redeed plummeting to the ground as Naruto corrects to land with a crouch. Naru clone lands as Naruto walks towards him until they are face to face, but Naruto goes for a gut shot into a downward elbow and kicks upwards. Naru clone halts himself upside down and wipes his mouth as he rights himself before shooting forward as Naruto does the same. Redeed swings a left, but Naru clone block with his fist and forces Naruto to block his left elbow into another flurry of punches, neither block once again. Azure Dragon Sword, Naru clone says. Naruto narrowly ducks under the energy blade and clenches his right, Rising Dragon, he shouts, connecting with a rising uppercut to Naru clone's chin. It lifts him off the ground as Naruto clenches his left his time as black veins spread along his arm. Iron Annihilation, he shouts, connecting with a punch sounding like the ringing of a hammer on iron and dispels Naru clone. Naruto powers down and falls on his back to dispel his other clones. Iron Annihilation hardens one limb to make them like iron hammers, Musashi says. Pretty much, but it has a side effect that hurts. If I didn't have you I would shatter my arms, Naruto says, looking at the sky, and Musashi says you are very lucky. Song end. 2 months later, the sound of swords clashing echoes across the training ground as Naruto sparks with Kakashi watching under a tree. It has been another 2 months since Naruto graduated from the academy and he has leveled up to 102 and puts his points into STR. Team 5 lorded over him about taking a C rank mission before him, but the Redeed didn't worry as he was working on his Rasengan and learning several more higher ranks. He learned Futon, Shinkyoku, and Futon. Shinktakyoku both B rank, Kaiten. Nkakik no Jutsu and Kaiten. Rika no Jutsu both C rank, Suiten. Suidanha and Suiten. Sujinheki both B rank as well, honing his other That's enough for today. You are coming along very well, says, after parrying his student's fluid strikes with a sheathed sword. Naruto sheaths his sword and bows to the older Oni. Thank you, and tell Princess Shuna I will ask Sarada and Kaguya, he says, and dismisses himself. You think they will sign the summon contract, Kakashi says, closing his book. Maybe Tsunade has her own summon, and they like to compete. Naruto says, and Kakashi snorts, as Nico appears. Lord Godame has a mission for Team 7, Nico says, and vanishes. Kakashi sunshine them to Itachi's office, as the Kage sits at his desk. Thank you for coming promptly, Itachi says, and clears his throat. I have a special C-rank mission, but it could move up to B rank or even A rank. This depends on those involved. Who's involved? Kakashi says, and a poignant pause fills the room. Orochimaru, Itachi says, and signs before holding up a picture of a girl of about 13 with blood-red hair and matching eyes behind glasses. Her name is Karen Uzumaki, he adds, and Naruto's eyes widen. The survivor of Yuzashio's fall, Kakashi says, and Itachi nods. According to Lord Jiraiya, spies her parents fled to Tsunade and hid themselves there. However, after a change in leadership, her parents were used for their abilities. Karen's father possessed a mind's eye of Kagura and was used as constant surveillance for the village. He died after a month. Her mother possessed a healing bite and was used to death by decadent doctors. Karen has both. And you can guess what will happen if she becomes a ninja, Itachi explains. So we'll infiltrate and snatch her up then escape, Kakashi says. It won't be that simple. We got someone close to Karen and they planned to sneak her out, but Orochimaru happened. He hasn't come himself, but our spy hears his name thrown around and Naruto sees a familiar translucent blue box. Quest received. Save your Uzumaki kinsman. Rewards 1. 100,000 EXP. 2. -1,000 Representative Kusa and Orochimaru. 3. New home. So we sneak in and save Karen before Orochimaru's people take her, Kakashi says. Yes, Itachi says, and looks at Naruto. How long can someone last in your stasis scrolls, he asks. With Sensei's help she lasted about 18 hours any longer and her health deteriorated, Naruto says. That will be enough. Seal Karen inside the stasis scroll and both of you escape without alerting Kusa's leadership, but if that can't happen you'll have to fight your way out. Kusa's new leadership is working to annul our alliance, Itachi says. We'll get it done, Lord Godame, Kakashi says, and looks to Naruto. Pack for a week and meet me at the main in 30, he adds, and Naruto nods, excusing himself and making 3 clones to inform the trio. Quite the mission, a kinsman and a new home, Musashi says, as Naruto reaches home and moves to gather what he needs. I can use a bigger place, and I'm not the only Uzumaki left, Naruto says, both ignoring the negative rep. He gets memories from his clones as each girl wishes him luck and to be safe with hugs and kisses added as well. He also gets a quick snack from the store of a beef burrito and coke. Naruto reaches the main gates as Kakashi arrives with a leaf shunshin. Ready, Kakashi says, and Naruto nods before they take off for Kusa. Are you ready to see a real ninja village, Rini, Kakashi says under his persona. He has shaggy grayish brown hair, gray contact lenses, along with purple makeup over his eyes and purple patches under them. He wears a long green trench coat and a purple scarf with gray pants. Naruto is under the henge of a little girl of 10 with blonde hair and pigtails wearing a dress and green eyes. Yeah, he or she says, so my henges are real, Naruto though. You never noticed what boy, Musashi says. Naruto and Kakashi were a part of a caravan bound for Kusa under the persona of a traveling photographer and his niece. The village is not to the scale of the other major hidden villages, but is half the size of. The country itself is rich with forests, some even consisting of giant mushrooms or bamboo, and many rivers or deep ravines. Rini, let's go see Rin right away, okay, Kakashi says, taking some pictures. The caravan is checked, and IDs were, as well, with the air managing to fool the guards, allowing them inside the village to head towards Karen's home. Kakashi takes photos as Naruto looks around like a curious kid as they draw closer to Karen's home on the west side, which is sparse. However, they would find the home is the site of a murder as Naruto places a barrier to keep eyes off them. Was there a leak, Naruto says, seeing the deceased young woman. I don't know, but there was a serious struggle, Kakashi says, seeing broken glasses and mirrors. Orochimaru, Naruto says, as Kakashi bites his thumb to summon one of the ninja hounds. Pakin, we need to find a high-value target. Can you track her scent? Kakashi says. Pakin is a small pug with brown fur, a dark brown snout and ears, pink paws, and wears the standard blue vest with a Hino Meheji seal and a bandage on his right front leg. Give me a moment, says, sniffing the area. Should we bring her with us? Naruto says, but Kakashi shakes his head. I've got it, but it feels like 5 bodies and one at the same time, but has a scent like Yamato says, and this shocks Kakashi. How far away, Kakashi says. They left about 3 hours ago, Pakin says. Alright Naruto, I'll shunshin us out of here and we'll catch up, Kakashi says, picking up and grasping the Redeed's arm as they vanish. What did you mean? One has a scent like Yamato, Naruto asks as they race north of Kusa. Yamato was the sole survivor of an experiment by Orochimaru to revive the Mokuton. However, that might not be the case, so be prepared, Kakashi says. Music. Bruce Falconer panic into Cell transforms into Heroic Trunks theme. Eren Uzumaki softly cries as she is being led by 5 strange individuals who killed her friend. How can this happen? She believed she would be spirited away from Kusa, but then they came, proclaiming their master would have a use for her. Karen learned their names were Siki carrying a Kakara and filled with rage, Kara carrying a maple leaf-shaped Uchiwa and radiating lust. Sais carries a Jkumonji spear and seems sorrowful, Yoro carries no weapon and radiates this jovial and sadistic nature, but their leader Zaku radiates hatred and frightens her the most. Someone is coming, Zaku says, halting the group. He is short but muscular with short hair that spikes up at various angles around his head and narrow orange eyes. He wears black hakama pants tied together with a long strap of white cloth, long sleeves, and dons a plate of armor that is gold but only covers his chest. We were moving too slow, Siki says. He is a tall and muscular young man with long wavy hair that goes past his shoulders and narrow deep red eyes. He wears a kimono with the right half being covered in a pattern of flowers and lines. The left half being dark and lacking any detailed features with dark hakama pants and a pair of samurai sandals. People play with Kara says. He is tall and muscular with shoulder-length hair and narrow deep green eyes, wearing nothing but hakama pants, a pair of samurai and a yuasa harness. Who is their size? He is tall and muscular as well with shoulder-length hair and narrow deep blue eyes. He wears a black kimono with white lines running through various areas of the clothing and rope-like accessories tied around his shoulders, also a pair of hakama pants and a pair of samurai sandals. We can play a game with him, says. He is tall and muscular with long wavy hair that goes past his shoulders and narrow gold eyes, wearing only hakama pants tied together by a chain of large round pearls. Enough, they are here, says, as Naruto and Kakashi appear in front of him amid a forest of bamboo. Kakashi Haddock the copy ninja, he adds. This will be fun, then Kara says. Kakashi raises his 8 as Naruto uses observe on them, each of them jonin easily, but Zaku is dangerous, Naruto thought, seeing a look from Kakashi. Both rush forward towards the group as Naruto prepares clones, but Kara swings his fan, Oyam Musashi shouts, before being sent flying by a tremendous gust of wind. He went flying, Kara crows. After he says, as Kakashi shouts Naruto, the 4 vanish as bamboo ensnares Karen. Naruto lands with a crash and bounds to his feet, he didn't weave signs at all, he says. Siki appears on Naruto's left side and slams his staff down, creating a burst of red-blue lightning, but the Redeed dodges, tossing several kunai towards him. Sai sunshine above and thrusts his spear, but Naruto uses Kawarimi with a bamboo stalk as he lands with a skid. An echoing screech tears through the area and blows out Naruto's eardrums before he covers them. What the hell? He thought and saw, laughing with his mouth moving, but all the Redeed could hear was ringing. I'll heal them shortly, Musashi says. No, don't. He'll simply do it again, Naruto thought, bringing out his sword. Kara swings his fan once for another blast of wind, but Naruto uses his chains to root himself in place before Kara appears above and swings down to create a heavy wind pressure. Naruto's knees buckle as the ground cracks underneath him, but he endures, dodging a thrust from Sai's, but manages to cut his shoulder. A Muradama, Naruto thought, setting his sword ablaze and slashing Aizen's back. Siki slams his staff into Naruto's back with a surge of lightning, and the Redeed screams in pain while sending another sonic screech, causing his eyes wide out and his sword falling from his hand as blood vessels break in Naruto's nose as well. Hara and cackle as Siki looks on in anger with crying softly, having to see Naruto suffer so much and not die. Let's put him out of his misery. The 4 rush towards Naruto, but the Redeed throws his head back with a voiceless roar as he transforms into SSJ, blowing the 4 back several feet with shocked looks on their faces. How infuriating, how infuriating, how infuriating, we didn't kill him sooner, Siki says. Now then, one uses sound, one lightning, one uses wind, and the last can use his spear to attack even from a distance, so I need something, as well, Naruto thought, and creates his Azure Dragon sword before gripping it as Sai goes for a spear thrust. It slashes the ground in 4 rows, but Naruto dodges as he creates a whitish-blue energy scythe. Yoro takes a deep breath for another screech, but gets bifurcated at the waist from a swing of Naruto's scythe. Siki slams his staff to send a lightning blast, but Naruto avoids it with clones before his scythe pierces Siki's head. Yoro Siki, Kara shouts, but his breath hits as Naruto has his sword in hand. Uzumaki Ryu. Severing void, Naruto says, to sever Kara's arms and head in one strike. Sais goes for a strike from behind as the Redeed sidesteps him but opens up his side as Naruto swings, Gurren kinda Naruto says, cutting and exploding Aizen's head. Redeed sighs and looks over the bodies, but his eyes widen as Aizen's body has turned into a wooden corpse. They were wood clones, but not at the same time, as part is human, as well. Wood experiments has Orochimaru done, Naruto says, as his wounds and hearing heal. No time to contemplate, boy. Your sensei could be in danger, Musashi says, as Naruto rushes off. Music change. Ex-ambassadors feat Jamie and Kamen's jungle, loop. Akiri Kakashi shouts, tearing through one of Zahaku's wooden dragons. Zahaku has managed to keep distance between him and Kakashi via his wood dragons, but the copy ninja is drawing closer. However, after the death of those four his power increased. I can now use Kara's wind, Seki's lightning, and Yoro's hell thought, firing a blast of lightning that Kakashi cuts in half. I may need to use my Mangekyo, but I don't have the chakra for it, Kakashi says and sees Karen pleading with her eyes for someone to save her. I have no choice, he says. Ararak Saika, a familiar voice shouts, and a blue blast destroys three of the wooden heads in an instant. Zahaku shields his eyes for a moment but jerks as Karen is now gone. What? He says. Kakashi sees Naruto landing with Karen in his arms. Naruto, Kakashi says. I had to make sure Karen didn't get caught in things, Naruto says, letting her down. You killed those four, Kakashi says. I did. You seem to be still fighting, Naruto says. He isn't like Yamato from what I can tell. He used existing wood to make those dragons. Though only a few moments ago those dragons can now fire lightning wind, Kakashi says, and Naruto interrupts. Sound waves, Naruto says, and Kakashi nods. It's the same powers of those four after I killed them. They turned into half-human corpses with wood mixed in, he adds. So they were some sort of clones, Kakashi says. Zahaku sends his wood dragons as they dodge them and they crash into the ground. Kakashi, can I handle him, Naruto says. Don't be reckless, Kakashi says, catching Karen from Naruto and vanishing with her. Are you done strategizing? Zahaku says. Naruto lowers his stance and shoots forward as fires a combined sound wave lightning blast, but the Redeed dodges, destroying a large area of land in its wake. The dragon heads shoot forward in dizzying patterns and even create new heads as Naruto dodges using his bursting machine gun blows to take out the smaller heads. One head fires heavy air pressure attacks and another several attacks similar to Aizen's spear thrusts. He is keeping up even at that speed though, but his eyes narrow seeing Naruto's whiskers. I see now he's the Kyuubi Jinchuriki, he says. Naruto brings out his Azure Dragon sword and fires numerous javelins to pierce the wood dragons as they explode, allowing Naruto to close the distance. Zahaku opens his mouth as Naruto's first comes closer and a compressed sound wave explodes out, ripping away Naruto's top and blowing him back, but Zahaku's eyes widen as the Redeed is still on his feet. He managed to survive my compressed war cry thought and shoots forward with a spear-like strike aimed for Naruto's heart. However, Naruto brushes the blow aside and connects with an iron annihilation to Zahaku's stomach as his body seizes before staggering back with blood coming from his mouth and falls to his knees but stands quickly, however falls right back down to one knee. How can I be so damaged from one blow, thought, struggling to his feet. Naruto tears away the remains of his top with a spit of a little blood as Zahaku glares at him, but the Redeed's eyes narrow as four fleshwood arms burst from his foe's back. I will bring your corpse to my master Jinchuriki, Zahaku says, slamming his 6 arms down, creating a large explosion of red-blue lightning and engulfing the area. Naruto appears behind Zahaku's and slams a roundhouse to his side, sending him crashing several feet, but bounds to his feet as Naruto closes the gap into an inordinate amount of punches, neither one taking one step back, but one of Zahaku's fleshwood arms explodes. Naruto uses Iron Annihilation on both his arms, drawing on more of Musashi chakra, as another of Zahaku's arms is destroyed, and another until only his normal arms remains. I will kill you, roars, charging another compressed war cry, but his body buckles. Naruto manages to send his chains around Zahaku's neck and yanks him into a close-range Iron Annihilation as his hand goes numb from the force. He swings around and sends him skyward into a hard yank to snap his neck and charges a final shine to erase the pseudo-wood user from this world. Song ends. Quest complete. Rewards 1. 100,000 EXP 2. -1,000 Representative Kusa and Orochimaru 3. New home. Naruto powers down to fall on his butt amid the destroyed area and looks to his left hand with busted knuckles, but Musashi slowly heals him. He looks back to see Kakashi, but no Karen. Is Karen safe? Naruto says. I'm a clone. He's looking over those four you fought, where Zahaku? Kakashi says. Around, Naruto says, and the clone slowly nods, getting the implication. Naruto heads to meet up with Kakashi and Karen before making their journey to a small town to rest for the trek back to Karen is a little apprehensive of Naruto due to Musashi's chakra, but Kakashi properly explains what they were, and Naruto is no threat. The three would travel at a civilian pace for Karen's sake, but 2 days later at the Fire Country border, a summon in the form of a crow informs them of an emergency mission to aid Team 10 in Wave Country. What do we do in Kakashi? Karen, Naruto says, as Kakashi cups his chin in thought. Can your clone make it back to Konoha? Kakashi says. Possibly I can reinforce one with Musashi's chakra plus, thanks to the Oni I can fly, Naruto says, shocking Karen. That can work. Your clone takes Karen to Konoha, and we'll head to Wave by the same means of your stasis scroll, Kakashi says. You know what, Kakashi, Naruto says, and the copy ninja nods, before the Redeed pulls out 2 scrolls from a seal on his right arm. He slowly unfurls one, and it has a circle surrounded by numerous kanji. Okay, place your hand on the circle, and I'll seal you in, Naruto says. It won't hurt me, Karen says. Not at all. It'll feel like you're taking a nap, Naruto says, and Karen slowly places her hand. He places his hands outside the circle and channels some chakra as Karen vanishes in a puff of smoke and a symbol forms inside the circle. We may be walking into a battle, Kakashi says, as Naruto closes the scroll and opens the second scroll. I'll be ready. Just don't be groggy when I unseal you, Naruto says, as Kakashi places his hands and gives his genin one of his eye smiles. Kakashi vanishes like Karen as Naruto folds up the scroll and transforms to create a clone of himself. You know the drill, Naruto says, as he powers down. Got it, a clone says, and bumps fists with Naruto before flying off with a small dust-up. Naruto brings up a new feature of the map that can calculate and pinpoint locations, but he notices a large continent way to the north. I wonder if that is the special area, he says, and looks for Wave. I'll worry about it later, got to book it to Wave, help Team 10, and meet you, he adds, plotting the course. A purple aura surrounds Naruto as he rockets off in a larger dust-up heading for Wave Country and the next member of his harem. Land of FIRE number. Naruto soars above the clouds towards Wave Country, but his mind is on Team 10, and among their class, they were the only true team compared to the other teams, as for example, Team 5 were made of girls with individual goals and worked together. Team 8 were individuals as well, but followed in Sakura's case or simply followed because of hive mentality. Team 10 were trained at a young age to be a team and honed those skills to the point they could work without saying a word. And your team is you yourself and oneself, Musashi says. Naruto comes down through the clouds as he passes the coast and sails along the water to create some waves. Yeah, me, myself, and I, he says, seeing a few dolphins, and speeds up. He would receive memories from his clone that Karen arrived safely in. Also, Itachi received his oral report on the mission, and Itachi will let Karen stay with Tsunade's family until he returns, where they would discuss matters. Meanwhile, Team 10 were dealing with a serious situation on their first C-rank mission of a simple escort mission of a man named Tsunade back to his home in Wave Country. However, along the journey they were ambushed by level missing nin known as the Demon Brothers. Asuma allows his team to deal with them as Shikamaru uses his shadow manipulation while distracts one, and Ino halts another with her mind transfer, learning of Tsunade's deceit. The bridge builder revealed a man called Gato is after his life for building a bridge to the mainland, something that would cripple his stranglehold on the country. Tsuno also revealed his daughter and son-in-law lost their lives too, and his bridge is the hope of a dying country. This pulls at the heartstrings of Ino and has debates on what to do while Shikamaru runs scenarios in his head. Asuma agrees to aid but would call for backup through his monkey summons. However, once the wave is free, the country would sign a trade agreement as compensation. Tsuno hesitantly agrees and sends for backup as they continue on towards the coast, meeting a boatman to ferry them towards the country and being prepared for enemies. However, their enemy turned out to be Zabuza Mamachi, a former member of Kuritaku's Seven Swords of Mist and known as the Demon of Mist. The battle between and is a dance of death his team were not ready for as unleashes his Kai to keep the genin frozen in fear. However, defends his young charges and, allowing them to shake back and aid their sensei. You think some wannabe shinobi can turn the tide, says. Asuma stands in front of his team with his trench knives out and bleeding from several cuts, you would be surprised. Ino and Shikamaru were surrounding them with kunai out, but 2 more figures appeared behind them. Asuma-sensei, Ino says, a little terror in her tone and looking over the pair behind them. One has a hunter mask over their face, long black hair in a bun, and wears a teal kimono with olive hakama pants. The other is a fairly tall young woman with long, straight black hair reaching her mid-back with short bangs framing her forehead and upturned red eyes. Her hair splits her into 2 parts and crosses it over her head, secured with a headband and forming 2 thick locks of hair that reach below her chest. She wears a form-fitting halter-style black dress with a rose choker and a red rose pattern on the inside of her skirt. The front of the skirt is mid-thigh length, while the back reaches below her knees, black thigh-high boots and black fingerless gloves. Do we have to harm them? Haku the young woman says, reluctant and wanting to harm anyone and holding a pair of golden stiletto-type weapons. If it is abuse as will we carry it out regardless of our feelings, Haku says, his voice devoid of emotion. What will you do now? Sarutobi sneers as the tension rises from Yoro and Haku releases their kai along with their master. This is bad, Shikamaru thought, seeing his best friends on the verge of collapsing. Looks like we made it, a voice says, above all of them, and makes them look up. Why unseal me this far up, another voice says. Because it will be sort of cool, the first voice says. A dust erupts between and blows some of the ambient mist away to reveal Naruto in a squat as Kakashi lands on the Ritide's right shoulder. Kakashi Asuma says. Sharingan no Kakashi says as Kakashi hops down. Zabuza Mamachi, Kakashi says, raising his 8 and showing his Sharingan. Naruto has his blue eyes on you and Haku as he uses observation to show both are close to low level. Yoro's strength is comparable to him and, while Haku has a high dex and SPD with A. Your Haku, we're leaving another time, Kakashi, I look forward to killing you, says and vanishes with a mist. Yor's red eyes linger on Naruto's blue ones but she vanishes with rose petals as Haku breaks down into ice flurries. Kami Ino says, sighing in relief. Naruto Choji says. You guys okay, Naruto says. Yeah, you and Kakashi-sensei arrived just in time, Shikamaru says. Naruto sends some clones to make a perimeter and we'll head to Tsunade's place, Kakashi says, and Naruto sees the older man get a little nervous but make said clones. Everyone remains cautious as they make their way towards the Tsunade's home, but the older one has this look of dread forming on his face. Weren't you on a mission? We were, but Naruto's summons got us here in a hurry, Kakashi says, leaving out Naruto could actually fly. Tsunade's home sits on the water with a dock and resembles a seaside inn as the older man is sweating bullets as he opens the door. Dad, you're home, Kezia. Dad is made at home, a woman says, showing a baby bump and having long dark blue hair. Father Kaiza says as the group sees a fisherman. Who are they? I'm Tsunami and this is husband Kaiza, the woman says and touches her baby bump, and this will be an Ari, she adds. Ino whips around with anger in her eyes. I thought you said your daughter and son-in-law were killed by Gato, she says. Dad? Tsunami says, shocking in her eyes. I did it so you would help me. If you don't you will surely kill them, says, and Tsunami glares at him before each team introduces themselves and allows to get some healing done from Ino. So what will we do? Asuma-sensei says. For now we'll guard Tazuna and keep our eyes trained for attacks as Ino holds her hands out and glows a light green. How will you encounter your Musashi? We'll have to see. It is a question on how to get her from Zabuza, Naruto thought. The rest of the day is used for strategizing and Tsunami berating her father as Ino agrees with everything. The next day comes and Naruto sends his clones for dailies but also switches out his perimeter clones, also slipping amongst the clones to explore the area. Naruto disguises himself as one of the many of thugs hired by, wearing a surgical mask over his whiskers with his hair white and an inconspicuous outfit of a black red-lined shirt and black pants with black boots, lastly a white yukata with a blue swirl pattern on the bottom and wearing only one sleeve. He uses his silver tongue skill to learn some information and leads him towards a bar frequently, but his stellar luck has him slam right into you. I'm so sorry, Naruto says, catching Yoro before she falls. I'm sorry too. Let me buy you a drink. An apology, you say quickly, and Naruto slowly nods, following her inside. Even early in the day the thugs were drinking and leering at the women as they took a seat at the bar. I'm Shin, Naruto says, seeing she is wearing an overcoat over her clothes. I'm your Briar, Yoro says, and orders them a soda on the rocks, but the bartender mixes alcohol into hers. What brings you here, she adds. The almighty Ryu, Naruto says. Yoro looks away with her eyes as their drinks arrive. My sensei is here working, she says, drinking her drink. Not many would come to such a small country for work. From what I've seen the town is pretty destitute, but who am to judge, I am here as well. Naruto says and notices Yoro's cheeks are a little red as she orders another. Sensei is all I have after losing Yuri, Yoro says, a little speak to her tone. Yuri, Naruto asks. He's my brother, but died because we were heretics. All we did was help a family and Yuri died for it, you say, downing her next drink and ordering another. Naruto drinks his soda with a little Kakashi magic as he learns Yoro is from and got caught in the civil war as she and Yuri harbored a family of bloodline users. I managed to escape but Yuri stayed behind and was killed. If not for Sensei I would have died too, a slight slur forming and down another glass. Sensei even says I'm too soft and won't kill like Haku, I'm a failure. Why did he save me, Yoro says, now fully slurring her words and hiccups a few times as she reaches for her fifth drink. Naruto places his hand over her hand holding her drink and leans closer. She's drunk, Musashi says as he pulls his mask down to show her his face. Listen to me, your sensei may save your life, but that doesn't mean he owns your life, Naruto says. Yor's face slowly becomes redder and redder as her mind goes to Naruto confessing his immediate love for her, she cries, kicking straight up into Naruto's chin and sending him flying backwards. Naruto corrects and lands perfectly as Yor has already run off, but his vision is slightly blurry. Now I see why it said, never let her drink, he thought, rubbing his chin. You ruined our plan, buddy, we were gonna fuck the Kunoichi. The bartender says. Naruto's eyes move from side to side as men were looking at him with drunken stares while the women run off. I see, Naruto says. About 10 minutes later Naruto steps out as inside were broken but barely alive men. Will your words reach her, Musashi says. Maybe, Naruto says, returning to Tsunade's home and switches with his clone. He learns that 1 and 2 genin would guard at his bridge while the other and genin will guard his family. This would be rotated every 2 days until the mission finished with Naruto pairing with a member of Team 10 each time. Yor sits quietly with Haku as came to berate about not finishing, but he threatened the troll of man away. You came back drunk earlier, Haku says, his mask gone and revealing a handsome face with brown eyes. I'm not sure what happened. I was talking to someone named Shin and then things got fuzzy with our soda. Edo's thugs probably wanted to have their way with you, says and looms over her. What about this Shin, he adds. He was nice and listened to me ramble your words, looking away slightly. Keep an eye out for him, Haku, I also want the 2 of you to scout those genin. The 3 were scared shitless, but the Redidi may prove interesting, especially if he's a Uzumaki says, and both nod. Both sides would prepare for their inevitable clash as Haku and your scout the Ino Shikacho and Naruto encounter covertly, but Naruto was doing the same as himself or as Shin. The red-haired player also dealt with Gedo's thugs by making the body count rise with Kakashi's permission, infuriating to no end and slowly forcing Zabuza's hand. A few times as Shin encounters Yor again, but she avoids him, and a few times as himself where she likes his whiskers and each time seems more at ease with him. He hopes his words can reach her and help her break away as 2 weeks pass with their collision coming. Music. Chris Classic, Here We Go feat. EMINEM 2021, remix. So what's it like dating 3 girls, Ino says, sitting on the roof of Tsunade's home. Naruto is on the ground doing some katas as they were guarding the tsunami, while takes into town with Kakashi, Shikamaru, and heading to the bridge to guard them. We do a few group dates, but we sometimes do single ones. We're comfortable with one another, Naruto says. I heard rumors of a competition, Ino says, and Naruto holds a kick. I'm not telling you, get your gossip elsewhere, Naruto said, and Ino puffs her cheeks, but her eyes widen. Naruto, we got company. Ino shouts. Naruto looks down the path to see you approaching with a blank look on her face. Ino, I'll handle her if you see a moment use her, he says. Right, Ino says. Naruto tosses off his coat and moves down the path towards you. Naruto, please move aside. I need to capture the bridge builder's daughter, she says. I can let that happen, Yor, Naruto says. Sensei wants me to take her. I can't disobey him. Yes, you can. I told you Zabuza may have saved you in your darkest hour, but he doesn't own your life, Naruto says, and Yor's eyes widen in recognition. Yes, I was Shin, I meant what I said, he adds. Yor's body trembles as her kai starts to leak from her. Naruto, if you meant those words then save me by defeating me, she says, slowly moving forward. Naruto raises his hands in fists in orthodox boxing stance as his eyes become serious and sways back as you send a spinning high kick that disturbs the air around them. Yor quickly moves into a 9-piece combo of punches and kicks as Naruto blocks but moves back. Quiet the power boy, Musashi says. Yor ducks under a left straight and balances on her hands into a 8-piece combo of kicks as Naruto blocks with his forearms before putting a little distance between them, but you are on him with heavy punches into heavy head kicks, actually destroying his gloves and sleeves. Naruto. Save me from the darkness, Yor shouts, kicking open his guard with a high punt kick, and he sees tears in her eyes. Time slows as you spin on her right heel for a weighted spinning roundhouse, but Naruto sidesteps it and traps her leg into a palm strike to her chest. Naruto movie, Ino shouts with her arms raised and hands in a circle. Shintention no jutsu, she declares. Yor's body seizes as she falls on her back. Can you seal her chakra? I'll have a heart-to-heart with her, Ino says in Yor's body. Right, Naruto says and weaves a sign as chakra lights up on his left hand before placing it on Yor's stomach as a seal forms. If you came, meaning Zabuza could be at the bridge, Ino says. Right, I'll make some clones, Naruto says and make 4 before taking off towards the bridge. Will you face Zabuza or Haku, Musashi? Whoever gets in front of Naruto thought and soon reaches the bridge, racing up to the bridge itself as the temperature has dropped with a thick mist. He sees Shikamaru and fights a few clones of Haku with bow staff while the Rotund uses his fists as he guards. Seems Yor failed, shame she died, the real Haku says, getting in Naruto's path. She isn't surrendering now, Naruto says. I will not, you threaten Zabuza-sama's will, so I will kill you, Haku says. He blitzes forward into a spin as Naruto blocks him with a kunai into a spinning barrage of counter-strikes, culminating in the Riti grabbing Haku's right wrist. You may have trapped one of my hands, but that will not stop me, Haku says, and weaves signs with his free left hand, Sensatsu Sushim says, stomping the water and creating water needles. Naruto dodges skyward and fires 2 energy blasts to destroy the clones. Shikamaru Choji takes Tsunade and goes down the bridge, he shouts, as Haku appears with a spinning roundhouse and sends the Riti down into a skid as he lands. We can help, say, as Naruto rushes Haku with a 7-piece combo. You can by moving away, Naruto shouts as they cross-lock their hands in a test of power. Both engage in a series of knee strikes as Shikamaru pulls along. Don't die, Riti, the older man shouts as follows. What were those blasts? I'll need to ask him, Shikamaru thought. You spared them witnessing your death. How noble, Haku says, freeing his hands and swinging a high head kick, but Naruto pushes a palm to his chin. This knocks Haku off balance, but manages to maneuver a kick to Naruto's stomach and pushes back to a vertical base with a weave of signs to Tiger, Haimton. Subum Fubuki, Haku says. He creates a cluster of ice needles in the shape of miniature swallows form as Naruto dodges, but they curve to follow him before the Riti skids to use his machine gun blows to shatter them while Haku is weaving more signs to ram. Music change. NF, the search. The jutsu. Makam Heimshim, Haku says as the area becomes colder. Naruto's eyes widen as a dome of ice mirrors about 20 wide and 20 feet high forms as Haku slowly enters one of the mirrors and starts to be reflected in each of them. Now then, let us begin. I will show you my true speed, Haku says, and Naruto uses observe to see Haku's SPD has increased dramatically. Numerous pieces of ice or steel explode from the various mirrors as Naruto dodges in his limited area, but a few find the mark to cut his visible skin. The cold will slow you down as things drag out, Musashi says. He avoids them more and more. Is he adapting? Then I will use this, Haku thought, and weave signs of tiger, dragon, boar, and dog. Haimton. Harakumko, Haku. Naruto jerks as a tiger of ice erupts from a mirror and slams into him as he manages to throw up a cross-arm block, but he slowly starts to freeze. What the hell? He says as another tiger bites his right leg from behind. Now I will end this by using Hisatsu Haimzum. Don't worry, you will not suffer, your death will be certain, Haku says. Naruto grits his teeth as his body slowly becomes red as Haku forms a ram sign Kaioken. Naruto roars, shattering the ice with a red-hot aura. Haku halts his attack as his eyes widen and Naruto lower himself before rocketing forward like a jet engine to shatter a mirror with his fist as Haku dodges to another mirror, but Naruto follows upwards as a red streak, breaking mirrors in his wake to Haku's shock. He's gotten so fast, who is this Naruto, Haku thought, but he freezes as Naruto's fist is coming towards his face. I can't dodge, Haku says, before being cracked in the face and through the ice mirror. He bounces off the bridge a few times as his mask shatters and Naruto lands as subsides. Good thing I can use my clones to train in Kaioken despite being a physical trait, Naruto thought. Haku struggles to a half-seated position as his left eye has swollen up and some blood drips from his nose, but his ears hear this crackling like the sound of numerous birds chirping. He shifts and his eye widens in horror as the mist has lessened for him to see bound by several dogs and Kakashi's right hand crackling with blue chakra. Zabuza-sama, I need to save him, Haku thought, struggling to turn over and get up as Naruto approaches behind him. Haku bounds to his feet and creates a lance of ice to stab Naruto, but as he turns a whitish blue blade of energy pierces his chest and through his heart. Zabuza-sama, forgive me, Haku whispers, slumping on Naruto's azure dragon sword. Naruto cancels his sword and catches Haku as a squelching echoes before looking to see Kakashi pierce Zabuza's chest to end the demon of mist. He lifts Haku up and makes his way to them as Kakashi removes his hand while drawing his last breaths, but weakly sees Haku in Naruto's arm. I'll see you on the other side, Haku thought, falling as the dogs dispel. Naruto, Kakashi says, but out of the corner of his eye sees a group coming from the incomplete side of the bridge. So the big bad demon is actually a weak baby who died, though you did weaken those ninja sneers with about 40 mercs. Naruto places Haku down next to Kakashi. Can I end what Gato, Naruto says. Go for it, Kakashi says as Gato grips his cane in anger. Fill them and shout. Naruto raises his left arm and braces it with his right as his aura erupts. Barak Saika, he shouts, firing a burst of blue energy. Gato and his thugs have no time to react as they were erased from the world while the blast hits the water with a medium-sized explosion as Kakashi watches with flicker eyes. I hope I didn't mess up Tsunade's bridge too badly, Naruto says. Song ends. Naruto, Kakashi Sensei, Choji says, coming with his team and Yoro. She sees the bodies of and Haku as her hands go to her mouth to stifle a shuddering breath. Sensei. Yoro whispers. Don't worry, Kakashi Sensei, Yoro is on our side. We talked it out and he surrendered to Naruto. Ino says, seeing the weariness in Kakashi's eyes as he pulls his arm down. Why does Naruto Kakashi say this? What happened to my bridge? Shouts, seeing scorch marks. He saved me from the darkness you say, as they ignore. What will happen to them? Can they be buried? Naruto seals up their bodies and the Kubikirabacho I'll contact the Hokage on what to do going forward, Kakashi says, and you slowly nod before her gaze shifts to Naruto, but says nothing. Her talk with Ino was an eye-opening experience. Her life since Sensei saved her was one of servitude. She fought to not kill, while Haku faithfully froze anyone for Sensei, as like she was by saving him. I will no longer live as a tool, but as a person you thought. Naruto seals each body in a stasis scroll and a large sword as well before making their way back to Tsunade's home as the older man complains. Team 10 would have a story to tell their sensei about facing and Haku, also now being dead. Kakashi would send a message to the before him and head to Gato's place, leaving their genin to their own devices. Quest complete. Rewards 1. 100,000 EXP 2. 1,000 Representative Nami no Kuni 3. Unlock your Brer. Yours harem affinity is 20% Naruto thought, sitting on the dock and kicking water with bare feet. Naruto Shikamaru says as Naruto hears the creak of wood and looks back. Something wrong Naruto asks, but Shikamaru shakes his head. I wanted to ask you something. When you destroyed those ice clones what did you do? Shikamaru asks. Naruto holds up his left hand and forms a blue energy orb. You mean this he says, and Shikamaru nods. It's a clan secret apparently some members of the Uzumaki clan can form their chakra in various ways I can make a sword a scythe even or just form blasts he says, using silver tongue and firing the small blast. You never showed it at the academy, Shikamaru says. Didn't need it though. Now I am working on some Naruto stories. Thanks for watching my video, leave a like if you enjoyed my video and also do consider subscribing to my channel for more awesome content. See you next time, till then sayonara.